The Beehive Sports Podcast is powered by Swing Juice. Visit swingjuice.com. Use promo code Beehive20 for 20% off your golf and MLBPA apparel. Welcome, everybody. This week's episode of the Beehive Sports Podcast. Tonight's episode, not a whole lot going on. We got some stuff, though. We're going to get into... We're going to stretch it. We are. We're going to get into fan rant talk. We got to get fan rant going. If you've been a listener, a longtime listener, you're familiar with the fan rant. So fan rant 2022, we're going to get into that, discuss some rules, figure out some shit. Local shout outs. We got a few things to go over there. Of course, buzzing and buzzkill like every week. We're going to talk about Kyler's contract. And then in sports history, we're going to do NFL training camp edition. Not a lot, but I found some stuff, kind of, paints the picture, I suppose. Sketty on, he won't tell me what it is. So
it's going to be a surprise.
It's a surprise because I'm just going to tell everybody now. Sketty has two things that he won't discuss with me that he wants to talk about on the show. That means they're a verbal assault on me. So we're going to see how it goes. But so Sketty on's a mystery. We won't know till we know. Things that sting got six stories in the things that sting. And then in my hive, we're going to be joined by a special guest, Warren alum, Dragon baseball alumni, current Mercyhurst Laker, current Jamestown Tarp Skunk, Ryan Rafalski. That'll be in give or take, mostly I guess just take an hour. It'll be about an hour. And then, so we'll get him in here. Going to do a little interview. He's going to teach us about the tarp skunks. Let's go.
Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Joe and Sketty.
The buzz is brought to you by Busch Light. Busch Light Apple, back on the shelves. Get it wherever you purchase your adult beverages. If you do follow Busch Light pages, they are almost daily now telling people to stock up, which tells me that production has stopped because they said this is it. They're done with Busch Light Apple. So they keep saying, don't be sad that it's over. Stock up because it's ending. So make sure you get your Busch Light Apple. Please drink responsibly. Reminder to audio listeners, as I'm throwing out there every week now at the start of the show, live shows are broadcasted on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Give us a follow or subscribe. We appreciate it on all platforms. Facebook and YouTube at the Beehive Sports Podcast, Twitter at the Beehive SP, and Instagram at Beehive Sports Pod. With that said, people who are watching the video, you can actually just listen to the audio later on if you so choose. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, basically all of those things except Pandora. Should probably get on there. It's not hard to do. I just haven't done it, so I should probably do that. Do people still use Pandora?
I don't anymore, but I would assume some people use it.
Some people have it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. So where do we begin? Oh, first, since I already know that I'm being ambushed in this episode by you, I'm starting you. I'm coming out swinging.
Okay.
All right. So 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago, whatever it might have been, member guest men's night, just a men's night, one night event. Sketty hops on a team with me and Kevin and who? Wade? Yep, Wade.
Yeah, Wade. Yep.
Okay, so the four of us get on a team. What place did we get?
I don't. Third, tied for third. They don't tell you how many people are in front of you.
So we got,
but third. We got paid out. Yeah,
we got paid. So Sketty says we have a member guest men's night last week, and Sketty says, "Oh, I can't play with you guys this time around. I already told other people." And I'm like, "Well, that's weird that you'd leave the team that won you money, but okay." And he says, I'm going Kevin Durant. So what he's implying with that is that he was leaving us a runner-up for the team that was going to win the title. How'd you do last week?
Well, it turns out I didn't go Kevin Durant. I went full LeBron James because we should have kicked your ass. I just sucked. I choked big
But you
time.
didn't, and we won. I think we tied for first.
Full LeBron James. Full LeBron James.
You left, and we said, well, fuck it. If Sketty's leaving us, then we're just going to ball out, and that's what we did.
Full LeBron James. I easily myself left 4 shots out there, which would have tied you off. Easily left 4 out there.
Would have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that was terrible.
Word.
I feel like maybe you bent my putter. You got there early and messed it up. It's the only reason those short ones couldn't fall.
No. You just need to get better at putting. See, Joe's listening and he's aware. Joe knows what it's like to get bailed on. Joe Colosimo in the comments.
Oh, geez.
He knows what it's like to get bailed on by Sketty. But, we just take the high road and keep moving forward. The team has a goal in mind, and it's championship, and that's what we did. And what did you do? Nothing. That's right.
I think we're going to get paid for it. Did we see results yet?
No.
Should not shock. Shouldn't
have asked.
Maybe the money will be tagged on the wall.
It probably will. That's what it was last week. Yeah, so I just had to throw that out there, get that out of the way, because I know I'm probably going to take a beating on this episode. I just have a feeling. Let's see what else happened this past week. Oh, baseball. So I had to go to a baseball practice because I'm playing in that game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it went better than I thought it was going to.
Okay.
Like the first probably 5 pitches, I really struggled just seeing it at all because it's a small, dirty ball, used baseball. And I haven't seen that trajectory on a pitch in, I couldn't even tell you how long, 15, 20 years, something like that. And, slow pitch, nice arc coming down from the sky. You can see it just fine. So it was strange. But first go around to BP, like I said, the first 5 pitches, I was just kind of watching it just to see if I could even see it. Once I finally started picking it up, made contact, nothing great. I had like 2 or 3 good like contact swings. But then the second go around, I went fucking full Shohei Ohtani. Not really. But I hit 3. One hopped over the fence. Would have been a ground rule double. It's at Legion Field. And this is with a wooden bat too. So not bad. 38-year-old old man. One hopped one over. And then the guy was just standing at the warning track after I hit that one. I hit 2 more right to him. I mean, it was like the short porch. It was like probably 320. But I was still pretty happy with it. Like I was seeing it, making good contact. I got a lot of questions for Ryan when we get into the I need to talk to him, actually.
I'm not impressed. Didn't Barry Bonds hit like 73 home runs when he was 38 years old?
Well, yeah. But
you got to get on some of that clear, bud.
Yeah, they probably don't drug test for juice in the charity baseball game. So maybe I can get a few cycles down before first pitch. I don't know.
You need the quick work and stuff.
Well, I ordered jerseys from China, and I know how long it takes for that to get here. So I'm assuming if I'm ordering with Tren, it's a slow boat. It's going to be a while. So, but no, it was cool. And just a reminder to everybody, that is August 11th, Thursday, August 11th, 6:30 p.m., Dietrich Park in Jamestown. There is possibly, which I'm going to find out, I'm going to look into this week. Sketty has been so gracious to say he could skip out on a men's night to come up to this event, charity event. And we're going to try and do some sort of live stream, either on the field or from the press box. I'm not sure exactly how it will work yet, but that's the other bonus of having Ryan in here is afterwards, after his interview, I'm going to text him and say, who do I talk to about Dietrich Park? Like, so I can get some info because we want to try and either live stream the game or do something like that. It'd be cool if we could just live stream it because we could probably, like, I don't think you'd have to like sit there the whole time. Like you could, we could set the camera. I mean, it's not going to be like follow the ball. Yeah. Like it's not going to be great, but you'll be able to watch the game. And then maybe like some on-field interviews mid-game or before the game, after the game, whatever. And we're going to try and get all that going through, I'd assume The broadcast we'd be able to do through StreamYard, which is what we're doing like right now, because you're watching it on a Facebook Live or Twitter or YouTube. We can do all those at once, but with the on-field stuff, it would probably just be like Sketty going Facebook Live from his phone on the podcast page. So whatever. I think majority of viewers are Facebook anyways, because that's our most active social media, just because it has the most people on it. So looking to do something like that. The other thing I just wanted to throw out here real quick. Let me find it. The FOP Lodge 83 Golf Scramble. So that's my lodge. I just wanted to give a quick boost to that. August 12th. It's random, but it's a Friday at 1 p.m. shotgun start. So last year, I think it was full. So I was surprised by that, just given the time and day, Friday at 1 o'clock. Yep. But I suppose you can get enough people to say, fuck work, I'm dipping early, I'm going to go golf, start the weekend. It's a good way to do it. But if you're interested in getting a team in, get a hold of me. I can point you in the right direction, get you an application, whatever we need to do. So that's at Jackson Valley Country Club, August 12th. It's the day after the charity baseball game. So I should be good and sore. if walking at all, actually. We'll find out. Yeah, it's probably not going to be great. But yeah, that's all. I just wanted to give those quick boosts out there. So fan rant. If you've been a long-time listener, you know what the fan rant is. If you haven't been a long-time listener, then we'll explain it to you. Last year, what we did, but last year was totally different too, because that was before live shows. That was all audio shows. But what we did is I had people call me. I put them on speakerphone next to a mic and recorded a conversation with them. And basically what we do is we find somebody to represent every team. All 32 teams get one representative. And then each week we did a division. That's what we did last year. We also started in like early July. So it was easy to get done before the season started. Now that we're live, we have to find people who are willing to come on, represent their team. And the idea is what we're going to do is, let me pull up a calendar because I already have the dates kind of in mind here. All right. So August 8th. So not next Monday, 2 weeks from today, we start the fan rant. August 8th, AFC East, NFC East. We're going to do both divisions. So we'll have everybody in here. We'll bring all the 4 AFC representatives in first, and we will go around each one. They can tell us why their team is going to win the Super Bowl division. The idea is to just talk shit on the other teams in your division, really. Just cause a fight. That's it's all about just instigating. That's really what the whole purpose of it is. But it's a lot of fun, and we get some. The playoff ones were amazing. Like we did playoffs. So playoffs were the first ones we did on video, and we had a person representing each team. Remember the dude who represented Philly, and the guy who represented Tampa? Guy. He was awesome. Yeah, so
they were both good. Yep.
They were both good. So I'm going to see if we get them to hop on for their respective divisions. But if we can get the Philly guy might be dead. He might have had a heart attack moments after the fan rant. Like, I don't know him to talk to him to know if he is still alive, but I'm going to, I think I still have I'm going to find out because I think I still have the old messages, but he was going nuts and it was awesome. It was like everything I imagined the fan rant being, that guy just put it all into like 2 minutes and it was perfect. So we got to bring him back. I had people texting me for like weeks and they're like, dude, Philadelphia guy was fucking hilarious. I was like, yeah, he was killing me. Like me and you were just we were in tears. I don't even think we were talking for like a while, just listening to him and the Tampa Bay kid just go nuts on each other.
Good. Yep.
It was great. So anyways, like I said, August 8th, we'll do AFC East, NFC East. Obviously, like 15th, we'll do 2 more. 22nd, 2 more. 29th would be the end of them, if my math's right. And, that'll give us the 5th, the show the 5th, Labor Day, or whenever we're going to do a show that week. We'll be able to, like, get into, talking about week 1 and have time and wiggle room. But so that's the plan. So watch tomorrow. I know it's 2 weeks out still. And then the rest of it, it's just going to be 1 week out. But I'm going to put the posts up on Tuesday following the show. So, but I'm doing it tomorrow. Like I said, 2 weeks early. For AFC East, NFC East, we need to fill the slots, and it's going to have to be people who can be available to come on here Monday, August 8th, that night, and we will get the fan rant going. We might do it at the beginning of the show. Is that what you were talking about doing?
Me, no.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something. I couldn't remember what it was.
I was saying that we should just try and get everyone now because we struggled for some teams last year.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea, and just put the dates.
Yeah, just put the date that you're going to be
okay.
up. Yeah,
that's what I'll do. So I'll do one big post, all the teams blank, and then we can edit it and fill them in as people claim the team, and then I'll just put the dates for which divisions are going, so that way they know what date they're signing up for. Does that sound good?
Yep, like it.
Okay, all right, yeah, we'll do that. That's probably smart move because there was a couple of times we were scrambling, and I know like last year during the actual regular season, like preseason fan rant, we didn't fill every team. Like I didn't find I didn't find a Bengals fan, I didn't find a Cardinals fan, which we have one now.
Yep.
And his name Mike Garrett? Pretty sure it's Mike. Yeah, he golfs a lot. He's on my Facebook. Yeah, he loves golf and he's Canadian and he lives in Arizona. That's the only things I know about him. Pretty cool dude though. He came on and he did well. So yeah, we'll get, hopefully the teams that we didn't find last year we'll be able to find, easily this year. So we'll put that post up tomorrow at some point. Just be watching for it. If your team is available and you want them, just sign up. That's all you got to do. Comment that, hey, I'll represent, whoever, and just get ready to talk some shit. Simple as that. All right, local shout outs. So we got a few things to go over here. One, I feel like I owe an explanation to some people because there's just something I put up on the page a few days ago that got a lot of interaction, got a lot of messages coming in also. It was the Art Schaefer letter regarding Warren Dragon football and the Big 30 game and the equipment that was issued to the Big 30 All-Stars to go wear at the Big 30 game. That's 2 weeks from now or something like that. So I titled it, my caption was not a good look. It wasn't. I think some people took that as like, I believed that 100% to be exactly what was happening. It's not what that means. Not a good look means, to me, maybe I perceive it differently than others, but to me it meant like, this isn't something you want out there. Whether it's true or not, I have no idea. It's just not something you want the public to be reading, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that was the first thing I said to you was I'd like to hear what the reasoning is for not giving the kids helmets, because there's obviously, to me, it didn't make sense.
Right. So, and I did get some feedback from various people who will remain nameless, but there's definitely two sides to it. So, I mean, I'm not going to, and it's kind of shitty that I'm not going to get into super great detail about it, but there's a reason things are done the way they're done. There's a, person or persons who make that call, and that's what it is. So, if it wasn't, some people said it wasn't our experience when our child was in Big 30 or playing Big 30. There was others offering up their child's old helmet, which would need to be, another parent said, that it still needs to be sent in and checked for the safety inspection by Riddell or whoever. So, no, but that's the thing, is there's definitely two sides to it. And here's just the last note I'm going to make before we head on to the next story. I know a lot of those coaches, especially the young ones, some of which were in school around the time, I was and you were. And to me, there's a lot of guys within that program working who are extremely heading in the right direction with it. And it's in their heart. It's not just a job or something they do as a hobby. They love the Dragon football program. So I have nothing but faith in a lot of the young coaches that they have, and we'll see what happens, in the future with it. So I don't know how long current coach will be around. I don't know enough about the ins and outs of that program to have any clue as to say when he'll retire or move on. But I know that he has a lot of guys behind him in the support roles that if I could name 3 that if any of them stepped up, I think it'd be great for Warren High. So we'll see what happens. But sticking with Dragon football, they actually took second in the 7-on-7 Corey tournament, only losing to Prep, which
it's Prep.
It's kind of what happens all the time most teams. It's not just Warren that loses to them. It's just about everybody. But so shout out to them, 7-on-7. So it's non-contact, one-hand touch. I was reading in the comments in Greg Miller's post, and that'd be actually something to kind of neat to see sometime, to see how that's actually all played out. So I guess it's just, more for, route running, that type of thing is what I gathered from just the comments of it. Again, I've never watched it or know too much about it to say, but congrats to them. Second place. They went 6-2, I think it said. So sweet. It's a good start, so we'll see what, that provides moving into their training camp and all of that. Corporate Cup Soccer Showcase. I wanted to give a shout out to a couple people there. It's the showcase was played in Bradford. They kind of call it like the border battle. It's New York, PA, all stars in soccer, essentially Big 30 for soccer is what it seems like to me. But unfortunately, New York swept boys and girls 3-0 in the boys match, 4-2 in the girls match, but Warren participants a good amount. Will Nabinski, Mark Lins, Jack Darling, Parks Ordaway, Ethan Best, and Roman Sheets. And then as far as the girls go, Haley Peterson, Eliza Brook, and Georgie Bickling. So they were all participants, and that's a good chunk from. But Warren soccer is pretty solid. I'm pretty sure both guys and girls are pretty solid when it comes to soccer. So they got a lot of. Warren has some good sports programs. I mean, if you really think about it, softball, baseball has been good. Had a tough year this year for baseball, but Mo's first year, he's got
young team.
Yeah, very young team. So I'm looking forward to all of that and seeing, how that all progresses. All right. So next up, like always, buzzin' buzzkill. Sketty, what's got you buzzing?
Well, I got my notice in the mail today that DirecTV is about to start charging me for the Sunday ticket, which means football's right around the corner. So nice. I'm jacked. I'm ready to go. Training camp's open. Like I'm ready. Or opening this week, I should say.
I'm gonna interrupt. We're gonna call this segment Schooling Sketty. How long have you had DirecTV?
Too long.
Okay, so over under 5 years.
I'd say over.
Okay, so 6, 7, 8 years?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Okay, so I've had it since 2014, and I only know that because I got it when I first moved back to Warren. All right.
Here's something do the trick every year.
Oh no, not even every year. This is what I found out. Okay, bills start to get high. You know how DirecTV is. Yeah. Everybody who has it knows the longer you're a customer, the more you're paying. And then they're calling you and asking you if you want discounted more channels. I'm like, no, I don't want those channels at all, discounted or free. I just don't want them, because then you have to call later and cancel anyways, even if they are free.
Yep.
Here's what I found out. So I had a wonderful conversation with a DirecTV employee the other day, because again, bill was up. It was like $240. I'm like, fuck this, that's too much. So I call him. So if you Google this, you can find it. It's called the loyalty department. Okay. The girl told me that you can get the same rates as new customers every year, but you have to call in.
Okay.
So if you call in, so here's what I got. Listen to this shit. So bill was getting crazy high, right?
Yep.
It's supposed to be around like 150, I think, give or take a few bucks. It goes skyrocketing up. So I call them. They give me $45 off each bill for 1 full year. So July to next July, $45 off each bill, an NFL ticket for free.
No kidding.
So you need to make a phone call.
Well, I was thinking about that because we'll be getting ready to make the move. And I was thinking about calling and just being like, listen, like I'm moving. I don't know if I even want to take this stuff with me. Make me a deal or I'm just going to say screw it and I'll wait till, Sunday ticket comes to Prime next year and pay him.
Either Google the loyalty department and you can call right to them. Or when you talk to the initial person, if you want to go that route, it's longer. But if you want to go that route, just tell them that's who you want to talk to. Don't even give those.
Go to loyalty.
First line people are the ones who are just trying to sell you shit. They do not. They don't want to help your bill. They don't want to do anything but make you have every channel that they offer.
Yeah, I didn't know about the loyalty thing. I did know another guy told me he just calls every year during Sunday ticket and says, this is ridiculous. I'm canceling everything. And they just go, yeah, here you go. Here's free Sunday ticket.
Free Sunday ticket. Yeah, they do. Yeah, because they'll put you through to that department and they'll hook you up. So you just need to start doing that. I hate doing it. It sucks.
I did it one time, miserable. Like years ago, and they didn't give me anything free, but they gave me like basically all the movie channels for 6 months.
Yeah, no, tell them fuck off. That's not what you want. You have to keep the shield up during the first initial phone call. You got to dodge all the bullets. Well, they're like coming at you with like Playboy, HBO, Showtime. They're like throwing daggers at you. Avoid all of them. Tell them fuck off. Get me to the loyalty department. That's how you defeat DirecTV. I've learned that. And that girl I talked to told me that. She's like, you have to call in every year. Like you have to. She's like, just call in. Yeah, she gave away the secret. I was thinking I'm putting her on blast, kind of. But I mean, she's never going to see this show, so I don't care.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to call and see, like, hopefully they can get him come set the dish up. But then, like, in my head, I'm thinking the whole time, Sunday ticket's going to go to probably Prime next year, like according to Goodell, and then DirecTV is just gone. I need you for nothing.
Well, yeah, that's where I'm at with it too. Is our DirecTV simply exists only because of NFL Ticket. When NFL Ticket moves, and if it does go to Prime or wherever it goes, then DirecTV goes bye because we can stream everything else and get the service we need for football. So that's literally like that's how it's going to go. But all right, so yes, just keep that in mind.
Noted.
I totally stole your what's got you buzzing. Okay, so what's got me buzzing? 2 things. I'll be quick though. 2 things. Training camp has arrived, which you said already. 9 days till the Hall of Fame game, which I may not even watch, but just knowing that it's on TV puts a smile on my face. But that's Jacksonville and Raiders in the Hall of Fame game. Second thing I'm buzzing on, the good guy Astros. Giving Paul Blackburn
that was nice.
Helping out the A's pitcher who needed a lift to the old All-Star game. They were going to fly him commercial. Like Juan Soto, getting the commercial flight treatment, like the peasant that they're treating him like the rest of us, flying coach. Everybody's mad about it. Should have treated him better. Paul Blackburn, the A's, I can't even believe. I thought they'd get him a bus ticket. I don't know if they can even afford a plane ticket. But the A's are like, hey, you're flying commercial. The Astros, the classiest team in baseball, like always, step up, help the guy out. It's just, I just loved saying that they're the classiest team in baseball because so many people were like, what? No, you don't mean that. No, I don't. But it piss people off, so it makes me laugh. Good guy Astros. Certified good guy, certified good organization. Go Stros. What's killing your buzz?
The storm sirens in Warren that don't work. Maybe they should take some of that roundabout money, crank those things up a little bit, because I would have slept right through the whole thing last night. Like, what good are you if I can't hear you?
I didn't know they set off tornado sirens.
That's what Riley said when she woke me up in the middle of the night screaming because she's scared. And
so she heard them, but you didn't.
She claims that the sirens woke her up, and then she said they went off because people on Facebook, and I did see some people on Facebook screaming that the sirens weren't loud enough as well. Some people said that they woke them up, and there was a lot. I didn't hear anything.
About every volunteer agency in the county was out running last night.
Oh, I'm sure. I thought I heard
there was a shed fire, a structure fire. There's
I was
lots
gonna
of
say,
stuff
I thought
happening.
I heard like fire truck sirens, not like storm sirens.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
if there was actually a tornado, I would have died in my bed.
Well,
wouldn't have woke up, nothing.
So we will I'll verify if those sirens were ever put off or not, because I think a lot of people heard the volunteer firefighter sirens.
The North Warren ones were for sure.
They were for sure.
Yeah, I talked to the guy who's helping us paint the house, said today that the sirens went off and he was in the same boat. Wifey made him go to the basement.
Yeah, we did. We had a full on implement of the bees inclement weather family protocol last night. So that we did
hanging out in the hive.
Yeah, we did. I got a phone call from work from a coworker who I love but can be panicky at times. And it's like 1 a.m. I'm like, hello,
Yeah.
like I don't know what the fuck's happening. And he's like, tornado warning till 2. It's crazy, the storm. And I'm like, oh, like, so I kind of like jumped out of bed, like, what the hell is going on? He's like, turn on the news, I gotta go. And he hung up. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, okay. So I got up and I was like, yeah, we gotta go. So Asher slept through the whole thing. Me, Bees, and Devin came down to the beehive and we locked her down till the storm quit, and then I went back to sleep.
Yeah, Riley was screaming, let's go to the basement, and I kept saying, there's not going to be a tornado in Warren. Go back to sleep, and that didn't go over so hot.
No, maybe not on your side of town. My side of town's
your side of town is squirrely.
I
told her, I said, if we were in the new house, I would have been a little bit worried. Like, okay, let's get down in the basement.
Yeah, because it comes right up over that hill.
Oh yeah, middle of town. I was just like, it's fine. I kept yelling, it's not even windy outside, because it wasn't. It was raining like hell. It was thundering. It was lightning
like crazy,
but like
crazy lightning.
Like trees weren't doing anything. Yeah, like I was like, it's not even windy. We're fine.
All right, so the tornado or lack thereof siren is what was killing your buzz.
Yeah.
Okay. What's killing my buzz? The Rams leaving St. Louis 1999 Super Bowl off the ring. You know how they get how many trophies they have on the ring?
Yep.
Nope, not the Rams. They just one trophy, LA. It's bitter.
Dog shit organization.
Bitter ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend type of stuff. The stolen hoodie syndrome. Like, it's just whatever. Put the fucking you have 2. Whether you want to claim that or not, I have no idea. Guys like me wish that we could just, as a Bills fan, I could say they have 1, but you guys just want to forget about 1999, like it wasn't, the greatest show on turf.
Organization,
yeah,
classless organization.
So yeah, that was what's killing my buzz.
All right, like
I'm gonna let you take this one away because you said you have a lot to discuss here.
Well,
Kyler signs a massive deal. Somehow, no charges were pressed by Arizona for robbery, but hey. I'll just quick detail it. 5 years, $230 million, 29 at signing, $160 million guaranteed. A couple of notes with that: 46.1 a year. He was drafted by the Oakland A's, whose total payroll for 2022 is 48.5. So financially, smart decision probably on Kyler's part. Of course, he could have been a Yankee.
Yep.
Who knows?
Could have been a Yankee.
Could have made more money. Requires that Murray engages in at least 4 hours of independent study during each week of the season, from the Monday after training camp ends through the last game on the schedule, including any postseason games. The best quote I saw regarding that on Twitter, Jason OTC, says Deshaun Watson got a contract that has guarantees that stay in place if the NFL suspends him. Kyler Murray has to go to study hall to ensure he doesn't lose his. Very good.
Which is true. I mean, that tells you something the organization thinks about him. He's not putting in the work off the field. But
yeah, it does.
I think my biggest thing with this, and I mean, just to be upfront, I don't think I would want to pay Kyler Murray $46 million a year, but that's just what the market is going to dictate at this point. See a lot of people saying, like you said, oh, he's overpaid. Well, if you think Kyler Murray's overpaid, what the hell is Christian Kirk? Because he
he's way overpaid.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, that's way worse than what they gave Murray.
But we've said that before. That's well documented on our show that Christian Kirk fucked the market. The Jacksonville Jaguars fucked up the wide receiver market.
Well, they did, but I mean, I think it's almost the same boat as what, even though it's not the same because the guys that got paid are, for the most part, pretty good. Speaking specifically to like Rodgers and Allen and Mahomes. Yeah, like, they got paid, but everyone keeps saying, oh, he's overrated. Oh, he's overpaid. Well, as far as overrated goes, I looked at up a couple lists today, and everyone has him around like 13th best quarterback in the league.
Right.
Which he has an absolute dog shit coach, which that could not go unsaid. Like, his coach is terrible. Cliff Kingsbury isn't going to see the end of the Kyler Murray contract. It's not going to happen. As far as that goes, though, there's a couple guys ahead of him that I would not take Lamar Jackson over him personally. I don't know about you. You couldn't make me pay Lamar before I paid Murray. Like, that wouldn't happen.
No. Yeah, I would take Murray.
But so, what I would say about this whole being overpaid thing, that these other guys coming up, like the Burrows, the Herberts, you don't know with this young rookie class coming up, like those guys are all going to get more money. Like, in 3 years, this contract is probably going to look team friendly. But, right now, who would you take for the next 5 years, like, over him? Like, because I'm assuming that you wouldn't say that you would take Brady and Rodgers for the next 5 years over him. Like, yes, this year, maybe next year, but not 3 years from now.
I would probably test my luck with Rodgers. Brady, no.
Well, I think the problem with both of them to me is they just don't want to play. I think both of them are kind of at the point where
I agree with you on Rodgers. I think Rodgers just doesn't give a flying shit about football.
Yeah, so at any point in time, I would not feel comfortable handing him a big deal, although I don't know how the money works if he retires, if they get it, back. But I have a list of 5 guys, and that's it, that I would definitely for sure take over Kyler Murray for the next 5 years. Take Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, and Deshaun Watson. And that'd be my list of guys that I would definitely take over him for the next 5 years.
Deshaun, no sexual assault allegation, Deshaun. Good guy, Deshaun.
Well, I think, if Deshaun Watson got suspended a year, I would still take him over Kyler Murray for the next 5 years. Put it to you that way.
I couldn't out of principle.
I'm talking about winning football games. Yeah. That's a shocking one for you. Yeah, considering what we talked about the other day.
I just hate Deshaun and the Browns.
Would you take I start a couple guys here that I think would be in the conversation in the next 5 years. Again, Lamar Jackson, we already said probably not, right?
I'd take Jimmy G the next 5 years.
You take Jimmy G the next 5 years. He was a question mark because you said that.
Yeah.
And man, that's just so what about like Russ Wilson?
Kyler Murray was the 4th best quarterback in his division last year.
Better than Wilson? You think he's better than Wilson?
No.
Or worse than Wilson?
Yes.
Really?
Wilson had no offensive line. You're gonna watch what he does in Denver this year. I'm not saying they're gonna like fucking win it all or anything like that, but they're not like Wilson's gonna be a lot better used in Denver than he was his last couple years, and he had to do everything. He had to do everything in Seattle last year and the year before that.
I wouldn't rule that out. I wouldn't say that Wilson is definitely not better, but I don't know if I would take him for sure for the next 5 years. Like, it would be hard. Like, thinking being that Murray's going to actually get a head coach at some point in time, probably next year would be my guess, that they get rid of Kingsbury and find someone else and maybe he turns this thing around.
They should do it. They should do it. If the Cardinals were smart, they would do it like week 8.
Yeah, well, yeah, correct.
Cardinals
bring somebody
Cardinals
in and win the last.
We'll say Cardinals are 7-1, 6-2. Week 8, fire Kingsbury, because then you can get maybe a coach who can coach a full season and not just the first half. If you get anybody who has any second half coaching experience, bring them in and let them ride it out. They could be dangerous, but Kingsbury second half, his whole career, this isn't just like last year he did that. No, look at his numbers from Texas Tech all the way to fucking Arizona. He never finishes. Starts hot, starts red hot, looks great. And then just, I don't know, does he just get bored? Does he just hate the length of the season? Like what?
I don't know, but I mean, I think that's the big problem there. I don't think it's Kyler's talent. I think it's Cliff can't coach. major issue. But like, who would you take? Mac Jones over him for 6 years?
No.
5 years? Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Who? Brave. What about Justin Fields?
Yes, because he's taller. Same quarterback, just taller.
Okay. Here's one for your boy. Tua.
No. I don't know. He is the most accurate quarterback in the NFL, according to Tyreek Hill.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
What about
did
I say Derek Carr?
Andy McIntosh is saying Danny Dimes.
I left that one off. Like, I figured that nobody was taking Danny Dimes.
Who was the next one?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you're here. I still hear you. Just a hiccup.
You there?
Just a glitch in the matrix. Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, my internet's been screwy since the storm, so.
Since if there would have been a tornado siren, maybe you would have been able to preserve your internet hookups, and it wouldn't have been bad. All right, continue on the list. Who did you just say after Tua?
After Tua, Zach Wilson?
Yes, strictly because off the field, awesome.
What about, did I say Derek Carr? Did we get to that point? I don't know where I cut out.
Yeah, Derek Carr is who you said when you cut out.
Okay.
Derek Carr, yes. Yeah, I would take Derek Carr.
What about Baker?
Out of principle, yes, because I would love to see. I can't wait to see what he does out of Cleveland.
Well, that's true.
I hope he becomes a revered and loved NFL icon.
Sidebar from this thing, because I think we've covered about. Oh, did I say Matt Stafford? You taking Matt Stafford for 5 years?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Side note to this, so I looked up this list of that. They ranked the quarterbacks 1 through 35. Only 2 teams were not in the top 32. The Pittsburgh Steelers with Mitch Trubisky at 33, and the Seattle Seahawks who have Drew Lock and Geno Smith at 34 and 35. They did it in 5 tiers, and it said 5 tiers. Backups, Geno Smith. That was it. That was the article.
People are sleeping on Money Mitch. They're gonna see. I
like Mitch. I really.
I think Steeler fans have at least something decent to look forward to. It's not going to be the flashy great quarterback, but he's not going to be the flashy quarterback. But they have a great defense, and he's let him throw 20, 25 times a game. They have a good running back in place. They started working on the offensive line. It is starting to feel like Steelers like 06-ish. Run the football, yep. Ben throws 25 times a game. That's what you do. That's how you win.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I like that.
I think a lot of people could be surprised with how the Steelers end up this year. But, all right, did we get through all that?
Yeah, like I said, moral of the story, I don't think he's overpaid. I don't love it, but
you think it's market value.
Wait till you see what Lamar gets. I got a feeling that's going
to
be
I know. It is going to be ugly. Or it's not. He's going to get ripped off because he doesn't have an agent. One of the two things is going to happen.
That's possible.
All right, we need to get cruising here because it is already 8:17. But so we got a few more segments to go, and then we got to get Ryan in here. Okay. The Buzz is brought to you by Busch Light. Busch Light Apple is back on the shelves. Get it wherever you purchase your adult beverages. Please drink responsibly. We're going to take a quick break. We will be back with This Week in Sports History.
Whenever you crack open a Busch Light, the mountain starts singing.
It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you.
What is going on?
Hit it, Giant Kenny G.
It's so smooth.
Head for the mountains of Busch Light Beer.
Hi. This is Brian Hagberg, and I wanted to take a moment and tell you about our new website, yourdailylocal.com. Your Daily Local is your new home for news, sports, and events in Warren County and beyond. Our goal is to cover the people, places, events, and happenings that matter to you in a variety of ways, including writing, video, and audio. And the best part? All of our content is available for free. Head to yourdailylocal.com to get the news you need when you need it.
Let's take a look back at this week in sports history.
This week in sports history brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. Training camp edition. So it's just a quick read through. Obviously, the times have changed. 100-degree temperatures would cancel practice now, but not in the 60s. For decades, actually, John Madden, it was noted, was like notorious for the hotter the practices, the harder they're going. For decades, camp was a way to whip players into shape. Intense practices, often twice a year, left players bruised, tired, and often injured. When Don Shula coached the Baltimore Colts in the late 1950s, he would often dehydrate the players on purpose and would never allow liquids on the field. And he wouldn't even let the players chew ice. If he saw someone with ice in their mouths, he would go bananas. Injuries were the norm, and players practiced through them unless they couldn't walk. One has to remember that there were no agents or multi-year guaranteed contracts back then. The turning point came in 2001 when Minnesota Vikings offensive tackle Corey Stringer suffered heat stroke during camp, ultimately leading to his death. That obviously unraveled a whole bunch of changes. 2 practices can last no longer than 4 hours. Teams can conduct 1 padded practice per day and 1 walkthrough. The padded practice can last no longer than 3 hours, and 3 hours has to pass before the coaches can trot players back onto the field for the second practice of the day. With that said, though, if a padded practice lasts for more than 1 hour, it cancels the second practice. So the walkthrough would be nothing. You can't do that. They must wait a full 24 hours until their practice time cycle starts over. That's if the padded practice lasts longer than that period of time. So it was noted that some organizations go walk through then pads, some go pads and then walk through. The new CBA has in it that they're urged to do cool down, all sorts of cool down times, and trainers, get this, trainers observe players' urine for the color to look for dehydration.
Okay.
They must make a lot of money. So that's it though. That's the gist of everything that, I wanted to keep it brief. I knew we had to fly through some stuff, but if you think about it, it really has, the course of time. But with the contract thing, I think that's the biggest part is you're investing so much money into this guy. You want him on the field on Sundays, not, a Tuesday in August. It's all about protecting your investment now. So times have changed. This week in sports history brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. Going to take another quick break. We'll be back with the mystery version of Sketty On.
Hey there, everyone. This is Phil with JP Photography. I know. A photography ad on a sports show? I get it. You're here for sports talk and listening to Joe and Sketty's insane rambling.
Wait, what?
But bear with me for a few. I just want to tell you that JP Photography not only offers wedding photography, but also does events, engagements, headshots, family photos, and even some product photography. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for JP Photography or go directly to our website at johnphilphotography.com. That's JONPHIL photography.com.
He's absolute trash.
Sketty On. Let's have a listen to what Sketty's on this week.
0% chance that works.
I don't know what to say because I don't know what this is about. So I'm cueing the music and I'm letting you go.
Well, this is going to be a little interactive with you, but the inspiration for this was I was just scrolling Facebook and saw someone made this page about best offense in the AFC, best defense in the AFC. And I see the Buffalo Bills. I'm thinking, no. And then I started looking through different lists. I don't know how many different lists either have the Bills as number 1 or a top 3 defense in the NFL. And I want to know what kind of crack everyone is smoking that they think they're that good. Do you think the Bills defense is that good?
Ranking wise, they were number 1 last year.
Okay, ranking-wise, they were number 1.
Yeah.
I looked this all up. They played 5 games against backup quarterbacks. Taylor Heineke, Davis Mills, Mike White, the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Never to be forgotten. Trevor Seaman and Cam Newton. If you add up their points totals against, I figure they played about 14 trash teams last year, or at least not very good teams.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
They allowed about like 11.5 points against them. They blanked the Texans, they blanked the Dolphins. So now if you say, okay, we'll give them the Patriots twice and the Colts were okay teams, they allowed 14.5 points a game. And then their 3 tough games, even though they beat the Chiefs, and Brian Tannehill didn't really do anything. Derrick Henry helped the Titans cruise that way.
Mowed them over.
And the Bucks, they played the Bucks, lost to them. They gave up 30 points a game against teams with semi-competent, because I only think the Titans are semi-competent offense, and the Chiefs weren't really tough at the point. When I look at what they did last year, this is not to say they're a bad defense, but people thinking that they're like the best defense in the league is no one looking at the schedule they played last year, the quarterbacks they played. Like, literally, the third best quarterback they played last year would be between Ryan Tannehill, Tua, maybe Mac Jones, well, possibly Matt Ryan. That's it. That's the third best quarterback they played. Is a competition between those guys. Like, it's not to say they're bad, but just top 10, yeah. 1, 2, 3, no thank you. Don't want any part of it.
So this was the ambush? You're trying to get me all hot
it's not
and
meant
bothered?
to ambush you. I'm genuinely curious. Do you think the Bills' defense is that good?
I mean, I would agree numbers were inflated because of who they played. Yeah.
Then
you look much better when I think they pitched 2 shutouts in a row. Like early in the season.
Was a gap.
Wasn't it?
The Skins scored 21.
Okay,
but it was Dolphins 0 and then Texans 0. Yeah.
Right. So
which was Mills. You got Mills in his second start, and you got Mike White in his fourth start.
Which was awesome.
In the league. Yeah. So, I mean, like, again, this is not to say they're bad, but this seems like one of those situations like last year when everyone thought the Browns were going to the Super Bowl. It's
but
let's pump the brakes a little bit.
So here's something else that you didn't look into, though, when you went into that, okay? Those good quarterbacks that they play on good teams, of course, who game planned correctly, and they ran the ball down Buffalo's throats. Like, those quarterbacks didn't light up Buffalo.
There's an excellent
didn't light them up.
The Colts hung 41 on them.
Yeah, and it was Jonathan Taylor's show. He had like
exactly. Yeah, their run defense is pretty.
It was bad.
Pretty bad up there. Yeah, it was bad last year. So.
Yeah, and that was what they addressed this offseason and bringing back Jordan Phillips, Shaq Lawson, they grabbed Von Miller, just to shore up the defensive line and the pass rush, and I think that was their downfall last year. Definitely.
Yep. And
Andy McIntosh for the third time in documented history is agreeing with you.
We got to keep a list up on the page.
I think it's 3.
Yeah,
3 times he's ever
2 or 3. Yeah,
you.
But no, it's just the Bills' run D was bad. Now it helps that Josh Allen's going to hang a bunch of points on everyone.
Correct. Yeah,
take the run game away.
Right, and I think that's kind of their forte at this point. Is the defense doesn't have to be great. Obviously, in 13 seconds, you need to make a stop. Thanks for bringing that up, Andy. I just moved on from that recently, and now it's just resonated in my head. Are they the best in the league? I don't know. I'd probably say the Rams are better.
The Rams were like 6th or 7th on the list. I still went to a list,
but I still think like the thing, and this is something Colin Cowherd always says about the Bills that I agree with. Their defense is really good situationally. Now, take away the 13-second play, like that is a common scenario that they would be good in. Why they weren't good in the biggest game of the season, I don't know, but that is when they usually shine. Like when it's late, a close game, a play is usually made. That didn't happen in the playoff game, of course, but Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd say they're the best in the league, but it's kind of hard. It's just that's a tough question to answer. Who is the best in the league?
You can only play the teams on your schedule. And the one thing I will give the Bills credit for, like Bills are kind of a quick strike offense versus I would say I would take the Niners and the Ravens defense over the Bills, but the Niners and the Ravens also run the shit out of the football. So the other team's defense is on the field for 11 minutes, and that kind of helps. Defense stays rested, and so I don't know. It just
that was a good sketty on. You didn't throw me off as bad as I thought you were going to, though.
Well, no, because if you would have came on and staunchly said no, they're definitely the best defense in the NFL, I would have had to give it to you a little bit harder. But you at least are being reasonable, which is good.
Reasonable.
I can agree. I said it.
I'm a reasonable guy.
I threw 5 to 10 someplace.
All right. So that's it. We're gonna take another break. If I can find, there we go. Take a quick break. We're gonna be back with the things that sting. We'll fly through that so we can get Ryan in here and get our education on. See you in a minute.
Jones Pest Control, your hometown pest control company servicing residential and commercial properties in Warren and surrounding areas since 2015. Sean and his crew will work tirelessly to keep your home or business free of insects to rodents and everything in between. Contact Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548 and set up an appointment today. And remember, ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548.
Checkout means sales and services with 2 locations on Warren's East Side. Their garage at 800 Lexington Avenue not only services cars sold by Means, but has knowledgeable staff and modern state-of-the-art equipment waiting to serve their hometown of Warren. Whatever you need, including alignments, tires, brakes, yearly or enhanced PA inspections, oil changes, and much more. Make your appointment today at 814-723-7191, extension 2.
It's now time for the things that sting. The worst stories in sports, according to Joe.
This edition of the Things That Sting, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. 6 stories. We're going to motor through them. First one's, let me get the banners going here. Where the hell are they? There we go. Wander Franco, Tampa Bay Ray, robbed of $650,000 worth of jewelry. It was stolen from his vehicle. It was parked at a DoubleTree while he was at a rehab assignment in Jacksonville. Whoops. So his Rolls Royce was sitting at a DoubleTree hotel parking lot. Inside his car was a $60 safe that contained 7 pieces of jewelry. The alleged burglar, Khalil Mathis, used a wrench to enter Franco's car and remove the safe containing the jewelry around 3 a.m. on June 22nd. Stolen jewelry included a $300,000 diamond-encrusted chain, a $200,000 rose gold chain with diamonds, a $70,000 gold pendant that included the spelling of Franco 5, a $44,000 Rolex watch, a $20,000 American League Championship ring, a $20,000 Durham Bulls International League Championship ring, and a $5,000 gold pendant of Jerry, the mouse from Tom and Jerry's cartoon.
First off, how many times do we have to see something like this happen until people realize maybe not the best investment of my money? Big ass chains, especially that you're going to carry around town with you. And also, how do you have $700,000 in jewelry inside a $250,000 car? Then you're like, yeah, $60 safe. Got to save money someplace. What the?
Why?
Come on.
Why didn't you leave it at home? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you need all that?
Leave the shit at home. Why would you put that in your car? So Mathis, go ahead.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is insurance fraud. That's my guess.
I'm just happy that the dude actually broke into his car and he didn't leave it unlocked, because that's like the common. Anytime I get my car was broken into. Oh, how'd they get in? Oh, I left it unlocked. So they didn't break in, actually. They just opened your door because you didn't lock your car. Right. So Mathis, the suspect, allegedly sold 2 pieces of Franco's jewelry at a pawn shop nearly 20 miles southwest of Jacksonville on June 23rd. However, on July 4th, police arrested Mathis as they identified him via an Arizona driver's license and a thumbprint from the pawn shop.
There's another one. Why sell it to a pawn shop? That's how to get. Have they never watched Pawn Stars? That's how you get caught 101. The cops are coming. Criminals, man. Criminals.
This guy doesn't win brightest criminal, that's for sure. So Mathis's court date is scheduled for August 1st and is currently being held in jail on a, wait for it, $906,566 bond.
Okay. Oddly specific.
Florida, man. Fucking Florida. So he faces charges of 9. Oh, this is what's crazy. So this dude's like a serial burglar. Faces charges for 9 separate incidents, including 4 felony burglary charges. The 24-year-old has also been charged with 14 additional felonies stemming from weapons, evidence tampering, resisting arrest, credit card fraud, and drugs, as well as 4 misdemeanor charges that include assault. So he's on his way.
Sounds good, yeah.
He's on his way. Andy McIntosh says, sounds like highway robbery, just like the chocolate milk prices. Agreed.
He's back.
He's back. Back on the anti-sketty train. That's where we like him. I'm Team Andy myself. All right, second, Hockey Canada, the World Junior team. So Hockey Canada released a statement Friday saying it has been made aware of an alleged group sexual assault involving members of its 2002-2003 national junior team during the 2003 IIHF World Junior Championships in Halifax, Nova Scotia. A TSN/CTV reporter named Rick Westhead, he emailed Hockey Canada after speaking with multiple witnesses who provided him explicit descriptions of the assault. Hockey Canada said it has urged Westhead to speak with police for his sources to do the same. Westhead has been at the forefront of reporting on Hockey Canada's recent problems, the largest of which involved another alleged sexual assault. News broke in May that a woman was accusing 8 members of Canada's 2018 junior hockey team of sexually assaulting her after a gala in London, Ontario. The woman was seeking more than $3.5 million in damages from Hockey Canada, the Canadian Hockey League, and unnamed players. Details of the settlement were not made public. None of the allegations were proved in court. Now, this is just like tip of the iceberg stuff. There's some deep issues in Hockey Canada, this organization. It's now been brought to light that they were using National Equity Fund maintained by membership fees from across the country to pay off sexual assault claims. Hockey Canada ended their response by saying that it believes the allegations should be investigated by authorities, and Hockey Canada will cooperate fully. So lots of shady shit happening there. So I don't know if that's something I'm probably going to have to look to find. So I'll start doing that as time goes on. Quick one here. Tennessee Vols football, they're in some major recruiting trouble. 18 level 1 violations under coach Jeremy Pruitt, former coach. $60,000 in benefits paid out pre-NIL. Idiot should have waited. Vols fired him in 2021. Now, from what I read, since the Vols took swift action before the NCAA even got involved, penalties may be less harsh. So we'll wait and see. But they already they sanctioned themselves with removing 12 scholarships and some other things. So we shall see.
Smart.
Couple of deaths. Charles Johnson, you remember the former NFL wide receiver. WNCN TV in Raleigh reported Wednesday that police found a body in a hotel room Sunday during a welfare check at a Hampton Inn and Suites, and that the preliminary investigation indicated no signs of foul play. Johnson spent 9 seasons in the NFL with 4 teams after the Steelers drafted him 17th overall out of Colorado in 1994. Won a Super Bowl with the Patriots in 2001. He did 5 seasons with Pittsburgh, 2 with the Eagles, and he retired after playing with the Bills in 2002. Probably a good business decision. But yeah, unfortunate. I remember watching him like in my younger years. I remember when he was a Steeler. I actually don't really remember him as a Bill, but I do remember Charles Johnson. He didn't have like great numbers throughout his career, but he was effective. Paul Duncan. So this is a Notre Dame offensive lineman, former Notre Dame offensive lineman who was kind of highly regarded in college, but then didn't get drafted. Outrunning on July 16th when he went into cardiac arrest. His wife, Ellen Duncan, posted this on Instagram. 35 years old, cardiac arrest. So that's scary.
I think it's one of those reasons you see like the Joe Staley's and the Joe Thomases of the world, like these linemen retire and try and drop the weight because I don't think it's good for you to be, ever look into what they have to eat to maintain their weight at that, that level of competition.
Well, and he was out running. So clearly and the pictures I saw of him too, he looked like almost like he was in that type of shape already. Cause he was undrafted in 2010 and then signed with the Broncos as a college free agent, but he didn't make the roster. And then he actually officially retired before.
I'm still saying though, like that's just got to be hard on your heart to have, to get to that size.
For sure. Last but not least, I posted about this on the page. John Mechie diagnosed with leukemia. The most curable form is what he has, so that's a good thing, but he announced that he probably will not be playing at all this season. It's kind of a bummer. I mean, I'm not a Texans fan or anything, but John Mechie was fun to watch at Bama, and it's just a shame that that's how he's starting off his career. But
did they say how he found it? Because didn't he get injured? Was it national championship right before?
It was some sort of evaluation he was having done. I didn't see specifically what was going on. I just read his response and I didn't dig too much into the other stories on it. But just a sad story, but it was cool reading all the tweets from fellow NFL players in support of them and, one of their own. So, hopefully he makes a good recovery, and I think he'll still have, he's got a pretty bright NFL career ahead of him because he was damn good at Bama.
Yes, he was.
This edition of Things That Sting, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. We're going to take a longer than usual break. Get Ryan in here, and we'll have our interview with Jamestown Tarp Skunk / Mercyhurst Lakers / Warren alumni, Ryan Rafalski. Blue Line Auto, located at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren, is locally owned and operated and is a family-run business specializing in vehicle sales and service. They offer state and safety inspections and general car repairs, including but not limited to brakes and rotors, tires, oil changes, batteries, starters, and alternators. They also offer vehicle undercoating prior to winter to help keep your vehicle protected. Currently, their hours are Monday through Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Thursday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today to schedule your next appointment at 814-230-9061. Your safety is their goal.
Hi, this is Ryan Klein, the host of the new pop culture podcast, Me, Myself, and Rye. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and several other platforms. Special guests, breakaway shows, bonus episodes, cold beers, and a whole lot more. So what are you guys and gals waiting for? Subscribe now to the Me, Myself, and Rye podcast on Spotify or wherever it is that you get your shows and start listening today.
My High, Joe and Sketty's very own world of sports.
My Hive is presented by Blue Line Auto. For all your automotive needs, call Blue Line Auto at 814-230-9061 or stop in at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. Ryan Rafalski, everybody. That's our crowd. That's my soundboard. It's my phone. We don't actually have a good soundboard, but Ryan, thanks for joining us. So this is Ryan Rafalski, everybody who's watching, listening. Former Warren Dragon, current Mercyhurst Laker, and Jamestown Tarp Skunk. So we've discussed the Tarp Skunks a little bit on the show, but we don't know a lot about the league. So we're glad that you could join us. So again, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So we're going to get into Dragon baseball because I have a bunch of questions regarding you probably did some hitting off of Ed Baldensberger in your BP, right?
Yeah, plenty of hitting off of him.
Okay, so in 2 weeks, I have to play an exhibition game against the Jamestown Old Timers at Dietrich Park. Okay, so I need all the insight I need to know to hit off of Ed. Do I go early in the count? Do I let him get a few by me? What's your your advice here?
I know Ed throws multiple different pitches, so
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, normally in BP he'll just throw his fastballs, so you'll probably be seeing different pitches than I normally do.
What do you think he'll come at me with first?
I bet you'll see a fastball first. I'd swing at the first pitch you see.
That's what I'm thinking. But now he's probably listening, though, and that's what scares me. See, I was thinking about, should I bring this up? Maybe he's going to listen, and then now he's going to throw me a 12-6 right off the bat. My knees are going to buckle. I'm going to fall over, and the ump's just going to strike one, and I'm going to be embarrassed. So that's probably what's going to happen. I'm just going to stand there. If it hits me, it hits me.
Yeah, I mean, probably the best option. I would just sit fastball if I were you. Just
all right.
If you see a curveball, just don't swing at it until you see a fastball.
He's just throw me 3 straight curveballs, and I'll just walk back to the dugout. So so we're excited though because we get to play at your park. But you're in year 2 at Mercyhurst.
Yeah, I'll be going into my junior year like this in like 3 weeks here.
3 weeks. So
I've completed freshman and sophomore year now.
Okay, so now. And you're part of that special class that didn't have a senior season. Is that correct?
Correct.
Did we lose them? Okay, there you are.
Play. We did not get our spring season.
Okay, so then
we did not get our spring season for baseball.
Okay, so then you go to Mercyhurst basically after 3 years of playing high school ball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you have teammates who are from Warren.
I do. Right now in Mercyhurst, there's 3 of us. Mitch Grush, Aiden Morrison, and Ben Burdine.
Okay. All right, so you got a good supporting cast out there of people.
All three of them are now. Aiden transferred in, and then me, Mitch, and Ben are other.
Okay. How you liking Mercyhurst? How's the college level treating you?
I really like it there. It's a pretty small campus. I really like my teachers. My coaches are really nice. Just overall, it's a great place. Erie's a little rough, but other than that, if you stay on campus, it's beautiful there.
What conference division? Talk about that a little bit so people know who you're playing against and where you're traveling to and all that.
So the Mercyhurst Conference is the PSAC, and we'll play schools like Gannon, Seton Hill, Clarion, Cal U, IUP. Most of the teams, and then there's also teams out east, but we won't play them until the playoffs.
Is that like Stroudsburg and those schools?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Millersville, out there.
Okay. And now tell us how you got into the Tarp Skunks and what. So I read a little bit about that league and what it represents. I know it's kind of NCAA sanctioned. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's it's part of the collegiate leagues. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that. Like, what's the benefit? Is it just playing more ball, more exposure, or what all do you gain from playing for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks?
I would say I play a lot better competition up there because I'm playing guys from some Power 5 schools, like down south. We're playing a lot of people from California because, like, there's several kids on my team alone that come from California. We have one that's going to Texas, Florida. So, like, I'm obviously seeing way better competition than I would from around here because I've been pitching against guys last year from Auburn, and then there's kids from Wake Forest, and then like lower D1s like Kansas State and Bonaventure, like just bigger schools. Like, and there's a lot of really good players in the D3 and JUCO level too that are playing in this league.
How do you join this league? Is it an invitation thing, or do you sign up to try and get on a team, or how does that work?
Last year was my first year, so my assistant coach from Mercyhurst asked me, because I asked him like what league I should join, and he told me there was a spot on this Tarp Skunks team, which was only 30 minutes from Warren. So I'm like, that's a great opportunity to take that.
Right.
So, and then since I got to know the coach up there so well, he coached again this year. So then I just asked him, and he said that he would love to have me back on the team for year 2.
So now this is where Sketty and I were talking, because I disagree with this part. You get no financial compensation for doing this. It takes up your entire summer. You can't work. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So I kind of have a problem with that personally, just because, especially now with the NIL and everything, and I understand they can't pay you to play. That's not what the NIL is, but it just seems like, because I looked at your guys' schedule, because that was how I was trying to figure out when we could have you on the show, and it was like you guys play like 4 or 5 nights a week.
Yeah, we play pretty consistently, and we travel pretty far for most of our games, and most of them are at night. So it's pretty busy schedule.
Do you get a stipend when you're out of town for food, or is it all on your dime all summer long?
Well, the teams are supposed to feed us on away games, but recently they've been giving us each 1 hot dog and 1 water bottle as our meal after the game.
Yeah, that's trash.
Even trashier. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
I think
cool.
Less of the league now.
That's not cool. But no, I mean, I still support you in being in it and bettering yourself, because that's what you're doing. Like you said, you're playing some stiffer competition. You're pitching against kids who are playing Power 5 baseball, and that's great. But it just seems like the NCAA could probably take some of their large chunk of money and make it a little bit more suitable for you guys. Maybe we'll start a campaign for you, Ryan.
Yeah.
You need more than 1 hot dog and a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm. Our coach for the Tarp Skunks put in something with the head of the committee, but he hasn't told us anything since that. It's just a couple of teams that do that. Some of the teams feed us decent.
Yeah.
Like we'll get like a pasta, big thing of pasta, but we have to like share it with the whole team. And then there's only like 1 or 2 teams that do that. And then there's other teams that think a hot dog's gonna feed guys for 4-hour bus rides back home.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially after you're out playing ball, warm-ups, the game itself and everything. You're talking 3-4 hours, right?
Yeah, we normally get there even 2-3 hours before game because we normally hit batting practice before every game. So we'll be there for like 7 hours around there. Like,
damn.
Say we have a 7 o'clock game, we'll get there around 3 or 4, and then we won't leave until like 11.
Yeah, that's wild to me. That they're just another thing that the NCAA needs to make a change on, because the idea of it's great is getting you guys more exposure, in hopes of. I mean, I'm assuming your ultimate goal is next level. You want to tell us what's your ultimate goal here with college ball and what you're going to school for, pursuing a degree. What's the ideal situation for Ryan when it's all said and done?
I mean, ideally it'd be great to get drafted, but obviously I feel like I have to get a lot better for that to happen. So right now I'm mainly focusing on school, but if I somehow start getting even bigger, stronger, throwing better, then that'd be pretty awesome.
True or false, Ryan? You are in the 90-mile-an-hour club.
I am.
Yeah, so that's
true.
That's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Those people who have 9s in front of their fastball usually are the ones that scouts are like, huh, okay. So, no, that's great. And I mean, it sounds like, you have I know you have a good supporting cast, because I know your dad, he's a fantastic guy. I've known him for a long time. And I don't know if you knew this, but back in the day, I'll call it, when your dad was playing for Betts, I played for Cougar Bobs, so we were like rivalries. It always kind of reminded me like Betts was like the Yankees and we were like the Red Sox, because we had all like kind of half drunk guys with beards and long hair, and then Betts was like nice looking dudes who clean shave and usually kicked our ass. But sometimes we took him down a couple times, but it wasn't very often. But no, I mean, I know that he's very involved in going to your games and helping you progress and everything. So. And it sounds like the coaching staff is looking after you if they're sending you, to Jamestown to play throughout the summer. So, Tarp Skunks, when does that end? And when is there playoffs, or how's that go? I know you probably don't want to talk about this, but a little bit of a rough stretch the last week or so with the Tarp Skunks. Is that right?
Yeah. So our end of our season is July 28th. And the playoffs would start that Sunday after, and I think it would go until August 4th or 5th, depending on like how many games need to be played, because it's like single elimination up until the finals, which is in a 3-game series.
Does everybody make the playoffs?
No, it's only the top 4 in each division, and there's 2 divisions.
How many teams in each division?
I want to. There's 8, I think, in our division. I'm not sure about the other side.
Okay.
Right now we're sitting in 6th though, because we've lost a pretty good amount of games the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it hasn't been great, but never too late to turn it around. Things can happen. You guys still have time, right? You could still.
Yeah, it's going to take.
How many games back are you?
The 4th place, which we're shooting for, is I think 2 games ahead of us. And there's only 4 games left in our schedule. So we're going to need them to lose a couple of games.
You don't play them in that 4 games?
No. Okay. We play 2 of the teams below us, and then the number 1 seed team one more time.
Well, you're gonna have to get it done then.
Yeah. I'm thinking I might get one of those games. I'll probably start, I hope. But I'm still on my recovery from my last start right now.
So are you primarily starting pitcher, or are you coming out of the bullpen more?
I was in the bullpen to be like the beginning half of the season, and then once I got my pitch count worked up to like where my arm could handle starts, then I started more games. So this is my, I think, second start, and that was my second start that I just had. And then if I start one of the games this week, then it'll be my third start this season.
And then what about Mercyhurst? Is that same deal there? Are you in the rotation?
Not really sure. I think I'd mainly be out of the bullpen there because we have some solid starting pitchers there. And last year I didn't play there. I redshirted from my injury that I had.
Okay.
So junior year, I'm looking at being one of the main guys out of the bullpen right now, but who knows? I could start throwing really well in the fall, and they could bump me into a starting role for the spring.
All right. So, yeah, from what I understand, it's a pretty big roster Mercyhurst has. Is that right?
It is. We graduated a lot this year, and several guys transferred out. So we're a little lower than last year, but I don't know if there's any other recruits coming in yet or not. I guess we'll see when I get on campus because then I'll get to meet all the new guys that come in.
Yeah. Is Zach Danius is on your team, right?
Yes, he is.
Are you buddies with Zach?
I don't really talk to him that much because he's a position guy. I'm a pitcher, and we normally don't talk much during practices.
So you guys are like segregated out there, and when you get to next level baseball, the pitchers hang out with the pitchers, the infielders hang out with the infielders.
Yeah. Unless I already knew them coming in, I really don't hang out with the position guys too much.
All right. Yeah, Zach, I only know Zach because his dad is Tommy, who I went to college with, so that's why I'm aware of Zach. But no, that's cool. Anything else you want to add, throw out there about upcoming Lakers or finishing up the Tarp Skunks? Anything? Any shout-outs you want to give?
Oh, the only thing I can think of is our last home game for Tarp Skunks is this Wednesday, and I'm pretty sure they just announced it's going to be free baseball.
Oh,
so
cool.
If anybody wants to come up, I'm pretty sure the tickets are going to be free. I think they announced that. I'm not sure. I'm not positive on that.
I thought you were going to say free beer.
So it's our last home game. We're playing the number one seed in our division. So yeah, I don't know if they might do the $2 nights again. It could be $2 beers again.
They serve beer.
Those are good nights.
Yeah, we have a little beer shop right below the bleachers behind our dugout.
So I haven't been to that field in a long time. So I don't know. I heard, according to Sittler and some of the guys on the Old Timers, they said the field itself is awesome.
It's beautiful. They keep it in super good condition. They have guys working on it nonstop.
That's cool.
All day and all night, basically.
So any more advice on hitting Ed or just swing early?
Swing early.
All right, Ryan.
Swing early.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Maybe what you have fall ball, or how's that work for when you get back to Mercyhurst?
They normally give us like a week to settle in, and then we'll start. I think we normally have 2 practices a week, with the other 3 days being individual work.
Okay.
So we'll start that probably after like a week of school, just so we can get settled in, and they let the freshmen like get to know campus before we start anything too serious with practices.
Okay, and then you just ride that through fall until baseball starts in the spring. Is that how that goes for you?
Basically, I think because COVID kind of messed up the last several years, we'll probably have some fall scrimmages here and there.
Okay.
I'm assuming we'll have at least, because last year we only had 1 fall scrimmage against Youngstown, but this year I'm assuming that we'll get a lot more games. So hopefully we'll get a lot more opportunities to pitch in the fall there instead of just throwing inter squads the whole time.
Right.
So we can see some other competition out there.
Well, hey, appreciate you joining us, and we'll keep tabs on you. And then maybe after next your junior year, we'll see how it goes, and then we'll get you back on here to talk about it and see how it all went for you.
Sounds great. Thank you for having me.
All right, Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Yep, thanks, Ryan.
All right, I got the in. I knew he would have answers for me regarding Ed Baldensberger. So people might think that I had the motive of bringing him on just to get that. That's not true. I did want to hear Ryan's, what he's got going on, because it's cool to hear that we got a local guy who's playing next level A, and then B, even doing some summer ball, even though we gotta make some noise about this hot dog thing.
Hot dog in the water is a bunch of bullshit.
I should have had him call out the team, but I don't want to put him too much on the spot to then people get
It sounded
mad.
like he said it was like a couple teams are doing that.
Yeah, he did. We're gonna find out who, and we're gonna make some noise because
I like it.
These kids. What the fuck are they even thinking? Like these are college athletes, and they're giving them
if I had
a glizzy and a bottle of water.
If I gotta come watch you in 2 Thursdays or whatever it is, I'm probably gonna eat 4 hot dogs, just sit there watching the tape. You know?
Right. Yeah, we got something's got to give there. That's crazy to me that those
insane.
guys are sacrificing their summer for their own benefit to get better at their trade, and then they can't work. He can't get a job. There's no way. I looked at their schedule. There is no way any of those kids can work. None of them. Like you cannot hold a job and play in this the collegiate league. You can't do it. Like their schedule is packed. Like I was literally looking for empty spots so that I could get him to come on and talk with us. Cause I honestly thought this was going to have to be an interview that I recorded previously and then uploaded and played during the show. But that's crazy. So we'll do some investigating. Unacceptable behavior, NCAA. We see you. All right. I think that's it. Is that it?
That's all I got.
That's all I got. I passed both ambushes tonight that you tried to set me into with Kyler Murray.
You did very well.
I did. I was nervous. Well, when you're texting me about show content and you won't tell me what it's gonna be, that makes me nervous.
Well, I didn't want you to have time to prepare your defense for the Bills. I wanted your real life
natural reaction.
Honest take. Yeah, natural reaction.
I'm good with that because I think the natural reactions in both cases are better. That's why sometimes we stop each other. We both do that. Yep. When we're texting throughout the week, we're like, shut up, don't say anything else. Let's save it for the show because then we get a non-rehearsed natural reaction to something, which is better.
Exactly. And I was thinking like both ways with the Bills defense too. I was like, well, either he's going to be like, no, they are the best, and then I'm going to slam you with all the garbage teams that they've played. Or you would think about it, look at it, you go, man, maybe they're not actually that good because we didn't play.
No, they did. I knew last year. I mean, I watched every game. I know who they played. I know they weren't great. And that topic was brought up in several Bills group texts / Facebook groups and all that I'm in. They did play. It was a weak schedule, but it's nothing they can do about it.
Well, no, I agree. I'm just happy that you guys keep it real, unlike Steelers fans who are just like, doesn't matter, best team ever.
Yeah. Like when they were
11-0 to 11-5 real quick. Yeah. Just look at how you got here. So I appreciate that.
All right. Hey, we want to thank everybody who tuned in to the live show. We've seen an increase in live show listeners the last 3 weeks or so, and I'm liking that. We're getting into the good double digits, and we like that. Appreciate everybody joining us. We think during football season that number will go up even more because then you know. Everybody likes to chime in with their football opinions, and we want to hear them. So if you're live listening, get in the comments. We'll put them up there. We'll bring you into the show. Keep an eye out for Fan Rant post, which will be up tomorrow. Claim your team if you want to come on. I know Andy's chomping at the bit to do the Giants. He did it last year. Now he's got to come on video, though. Might be a little more nerve-wracking. He's got to face Sketty.
He has to face me down.
The face off. Yeah, I like it. Team Andy all the way. Just thank you, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank the sponsors, Swing Juice, Bush Light, Your Daily Local, JP Photography, Means Sales and Service, Jones Pest Control, Me, Myself, and Ryan Podcast, Blue Line Auto. Thank you again, Ryan Rafalski, for joining us. We're going to have him back on for sure because I want to hear how junior year goes up there. He's getting some good starting time. That's a good thing. I saw he's in the 90 club. I was like,
that's
boy
impressive.
can pitch.
Yep.
Boy can pitch. If he's throwing 90, I ain't gonna see that against Ed Baldensberger. But I'm gonna see some nasty movement that I have no idea what it's doing. I'm gonna get confused and embarrassed. It's gonna suck. Not looking forward. Shit. I'm psyching myself out now. I hit well at BP. That's what I gotta remember. Well at BP.
Just bunt, man.
You can bunt. I might.
If
he starts throwing
my advice.
He starts throwing some crazy shit, I'm laying one down.
I like it.
I'm laying one
You're
down.
young. This is the old timers. You should be able to beat the throw out.
I can beat the throw.
All right, I
can beat the throw. I might not be able to walk the next day, or make it to second ever, but I'll
pinch runner.
One for one. Take me out of the game.
That's all right, everybody. If you get a hit, pulled hammy immediately.
Pulled hammy.
Pulled hammy. I'm out. Yep.
One for
Go out on top.
That's not a bad idea. I got a lot to think about. All right, we're gonna hang it up. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again. We appreciate you. And until next week, take care and be safe.